to brush my hair before I start filming. I took a bath and my hair is a mess. Oh my gosh. Okay, hi everyone, my name is Shauna, in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be filming a reading vlog. It's going to go over multiple days. I'm guessing it's going to take me anywhere between 2 and 5 days to read this book. So I will be reading it on my Kindle. This is my Kindle. I actually have 2 Kindles. This is my newer one, and I'm still trying to get used to the newer one. If I'm being honest, my older one has like a longer battery life, and I had a case that I preferred a lot better, and it had a keyboard, so I sort of really like my older one, but I'm trying to get used to using my newer one. This is my case. Okay. And then this is the inside of my case. So let me see if I can pull up the cover. I got the cover, there we go. This book that I'm reading is called Your Rhythm, and it is by Katia Rose. And that is really dark. I thought it would be cool to like show the cover. Apparently didn't work. This is the first book in the Sherbrooke Station series, and the Sherbrooke Station is a series of standalone novels. So I get the sense that like they're sort of connected based on this rock star band that's in there, but then they're also very much able to be read as standalones. That's the impression that I get from the series. I love Katia Rose, but I have more luck with her queer romances as opposed to her straight romances. So hopefully this one will like change that for me and let me start enjoying her straight romances better. Which has nothing to do with like queer versus straight. I think it more has to do with the fact that like Katia had a ton of novels that she wrote, and then she sort of improved her craft. So the queer novels are more recent, so she improved her craft and really got in the swing of mastering her writing style and her characterization. So that's part of the reason why I feel like I have better luck with her queer romances, because they are more recent after she has had a ton of practice. But I'm hoping that this one will be just as good as her queer romances. I think this one is between a member of the rock star band and a journalist, I think. I will let you know more about it when I start reading farther into it. I suck at reading vlogs. I'm currently house sitting, so we're just gonna see how this goes. I'll show you the dog that I'm watching in just a little bit. I keep telling myself I'm not gonna do reading vlogs because I'm not very good at them, but like reading vlogs are one of my favorite videos to watch, so I'm like, maybe I can figure out how to do it better at some point. Yeah, let me go show you the dog really quickly, and then I'm gonna do some reading, and I'll update you after I do some reading. This is Mo. Mo. Hi, honey. I don't know what breed he is, but he's cute. And he is my neighbor's dog. Well, our backyards touch each other. That sounds very strange. Our backyards are kitty corner to each other, and they overlap a little bit, but we don't have like parts of our house that are considered neighbor parts, I guess. I'm making this way more complicated than it needs to be. Anyways, this is Mo, and he is essentially my neighbor's dog, so I'm watching him. Okay, so I just read for 2 hours, and I read 40% of this book, which is about 106 pages-ish, according to the Goodreads page count at least. So yeah, I'm on chapter 11. Also, I think the chapter names are song names, but if I am being honest, I am so out of the loop with songs and popular music and whatnot. Like, this book mentioned David Grohl, I think is his name, and I had to like stop reading and look up who this David Grohl person is. Apparently he's from Foo Fighters, which I know is a popular band, but I had no clue who that dude was because I'm so out of the loop. So I am enjoying Your Rhythm more than I thought I would. I mean, here's the thing, it's because it's one of Katia Rose's straight romances that I was worried that I wouldn't like it, but at the same time it's a Katia Rose book, so like I always have high expectations because I love Katia Rose's books, so it's like both worse and better than I was expecting, because it is better than the other straight romances that I've read by her, but it is worse than the queer romances that I've read by her. Does that make any sense? I really hope that makes sense. So I can give you a little more information about what the book is about now. This book follows Kay, who is a journalist for a small journalism company, and her journalist makes her go and get an interview with this guy named Ace. Ace is the lead singer of this brand, Sherbrooke Station. However, Ace doesn't show up to the meeting, and Matt shows up instead, and he is the drummer for Sherbrooke Station. I feel like I'm not saying Sherbrooke right. My mouth needs skill. Different sounds of the word out so that it gets to sound right, but I stumble over my words a lot in case you can't tell. So obviously there is some connection there. It hasn't hit any spicy scenes yet, but knowing Katia Rose, those are definitely coming up. So far, like, there's elements to it that I'm enjoying, but I am feeling like a little let down in some respects because I feel like it's not like as deep as it could be. Like specifically Matt's character, I feel like could be a lot deeper. So far it just feels like his main personality traits are being charming with his fans and with people, and he is a good brother and he likes music. Like those feel like his main personality traits right now, and I guess you could say that he's a good friend too, although it's debatable about whether his friends deserve his good friendship. But I feel like Kay is a very well developed and interesting character, and I'm really enjoying reading about her. And I feel like I, to some extent, like relate to her because she's talking a little bit about how like famous bands are sort of like formulaic and how she doesn't get into the hype of famous bands. And I'm like, totally get that. Like reading this, it feels like reading like someone like me, but obviously with more like writing talents than me since she is a journalist. So someone like me, but slightly different, falling for someone in one of these like popular hyped boy bands that she told herself that she doesn't like. So I feel like I can really put myself in Kay's shoes, but I feel like I just want more out of Matt. I want more depth to him right now. Katia is also just like really freaking good at writing female main characters. So if you're reading a romance book and you feel like only the male characters are really fleshed out, you feel like the female characters like are very lacking, you can't compete with the male characters, like read one of Katia Rose's books because that is truly one of her biggest skills, truly making sure that each part of a relationship is really getting the full time and development that it needs. Like obviously Matt isn't fully developed yet, but I feel like there will be more to him that comes out soon. I also feel like I can sort of predict the third conflict breakup that happens in most romance books. Although I wish, like, I know this is just a personal critique of mine, I wish there'd be like more romance books where there'd be like an issue outside of the couple that causes them to have like tension that they have to resolve. It's gonna sound really bad, but like why can't, like, say one of the love interests like get in a car crash and have issues with that as opposed to like, oh, we can't communicate so we're gonna break up, you know? But yeah, I can sort of see that the third romance breakup is probably going to have something to do with Kay's like history with this one company that Matt is working with the band. At least that's what I'm guessing. Like it could obviously prove me wrong, but that is what I'm guessing. And I felt like the first kiss in the story was like really well done, and it was super sweet. I don't want to like spoil where it takes place or anything. It was just really well done, and like I could totally see it being made into a movie and having it turn out like really cute with like a super awesome soundtrack for that scene. So yeah, I am enjoying this one, but I'm not enjoying it as much as Katia's queer romances, which I was expecting. Kay is definitely way better than Matt in my opinion, and I have 60% left, so my thoughts could change. I will update you tomorrow night because I only read at night because I like the quiet of the world at night. Yeah, talk to all of you tomorrow. So it's been a full 24 hours since I talked to you last. I know I'm wearing the same sweatshirt. I promise, like, every other part of my outfit has changed. I just wear sweatshirts for like several days in a row. I don't know if that's normal or not. Anyways, I read up to 80% tonight in Your Rhythm, and I probably honestly only have like 15% left because there's always like little like check out my other books at the back of Katia's books, which no hate to Katia for that because that is honestly like good marketing strategy, but it does mean that I should be realistic with how much I actually have left of the book. So a lot of things has happened with this book since I updated last. It sort of got to like the third act conflict, which I'm pissed about it because like just like why didn't Matt just go talk to Kay, you know? But I mean, most of the time that's the way these third act conflicts always play out. But also like the whole cause of the third act conflict is like someone at the newspaper company being terrible, and if they don't get fired I'm gonna be pissed. Also, one of the later books in the series needs to be taking down freaking Atlas Entertainment or whatever it's called. Like there has to be a whole, like, we're taking down this corrupt organization, because I'm so pissed at Alice. I think Kay is a really good influence on Matt. She's really helping him, like, stand up for himself, and I really like that. I think that they are a good fit for each other. I'm still not, like, completely in love with Matt. Like, I feel like there's some charming qualities about him, but he isn't, like, my favorite male love interest of all time. But I'm loving Kay so much, and I love how the story is, like, the guy falls first for the girl, and he falls hard, and the girl is more, like, hesitant, and then she realizes, oh, I'm in love with him too. Like, I like that dynamic. It's fun. So I finally got to some spicy things in this book, which is one of the things that Caddy is known for. And the thing is, like, I don't mind spicy things in books. I talked about this yesterday, but, like, can we just all agree, like, all authors, can we all agree to not discuss relatives in the middle of a spicy scene, because it is so awkward. This is the second one in particular that I have seen a girl talking about her grandma during a spicy scene. Shout out to The Deal for being the first one ever that I read with that. The Deal is exponentially worse than this book. I'm predicting that this book will be 3 stars because I am enjoying it. Like, I do have issues with it, and it is not my favorite of Katya's. Like, I'm not completely sold on it or in love with it. It feels very much like there's stuff missing, but I am enjoying it. Like, I'm reading it pretty quickly, and I'm finding that I'm mostly enjoying it, and I'm in particular really enjoying Kay. And I'm also enjoying somewhat of the whole, like, I don't know, I've just discovered recently that I'm really interested in the whole, like, dynamics of, like, the celebrity fame world, and, like, seeing that play out in books. I don't know why I realized that recently. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo really caused me to realize that I like that in books. I'm gonna go check my notes really quickly and see if there's anything else that I want to cover that I missed out on. So I need to stop recording. I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, so 2 things. First of all, there's a scene that was supposed to be, like, a big, like, pivotal romantic scene because it was one of the first, like, public displays of affection between Kay and Matt. And when I tell you, like, it's cute in the story, but if I were to actually, like, see this happen in real life, I'd be cracking up about it. Like, you'll know if you read this book when you get to the scene or if you've already read the book, but, like, yeah, there's a reason Matt is a drummer and not a baseball player. And then the other thing is, I'm just so pissed at Ace, and, like, I feel like he could have a good redemption arc, but right now he is so freaking insufferable, and honestly, I get that, like, he is a huge reason of why everyone loves this band, but, like, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Like, Matt puts up with so much that he shouldn't have to put up with because he is best friends with Ace, although he shouldn't be best friends with a guy who is constantly treating his friends like crap and constantly prioritizing getting drunk as opposed to actually, like, practicing with the band and engaging in healthy friendships. Also, one last thing before I wrap up the clip for tonight, I'll probably end up finishing this book tomorrow, and this is my final night house sittings. You'll probably see me at my house for the final clips. The other thing that I want to talk about really briefly is I'm just really curious, like, where Katya's inspiration for the band came from, because I'm curious if there's any, like, boy band that she has in mind while she's writing this. Like, was she a One Direction stan, and is that, like, showing up in this book? Was she a fan of, like, the Beatles? Like, I don't know, I'm really curious about that. But yeah, I'm enjoying this one, just it isn't super spectacular. So, I'll see you a little later. So, I finished reading Your Rhythm last night. Back at my own house, and I'm very sorry, but for some reason in the clips from, like, when I was house sitting, the audio is, like, terrible quality, so I'll try and save it, but it probably won't be perfect, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't film, like, the clip last night because I had schoolwork to do, and also just because I wanted to, like, let myself sleep and get my thoughts together on this book before I film this video. So I turned out to only have 6% left of Your Rhythm because there is, like, the extra stuff like advertising Katya's other books. And that 6% was probably my least favorite part of the book. The reason for that is this last 6% was sort of dealing with the third act conflict. And Katya is normally, like, pretty good at third act conflicts. Like, normally they're separated, they're angsty, they want to be with each other, but, like, for some reason they, like, aren't willing to be with each other right now, like, you know? But it wasn't as, like, angsty, and they weren't actually, like, separated for that long. I mean that long in terms of like book pages, because they are separated for like a few weeks if you look at the actual like timeline of when things take place in the book. I just felt like the whole getting back together thing and the third act breakup was really rushed, and I felt like it should have been lengthened, and like I feel like there should have been more analysis into like the mental health of both Kay and Matt during that time frame. But I did still enjoy it. Like, I would say that this book is very lighthearted. There is some serious topics like alcohol abuse in there, but it doesn't go into those topics too deeply. So if you're looking for a lighthearted, fun read, then Your Rhythm is definitely one that you should check out. I think that I overall enjoyed Your Rhythm. Kay is definitely my favorite of the main couple, and I felt like just overall it was fairly enjoyable. I loved the first kiss scene. I thought that was the best scene out of the whole book, and the best first kiss scene that I've ever read in a book. It was just like a cinematic masterpiece. Well, a literary masterpiece, but like if it were made into a movie, it would be a cinematic masterpiece that you'd see people like editing and posting all over online, because it just feels that perfect and that well written. I ended up giving this one 3 stars because I felt like it was nothing special. Like, I had issues with it. I liked it overall, but I did feel like it was missing some like oomph to make it like a 4 or 5 star read. I would say that it is worth reading if you have Kindle Unlimited, which I do, and it is worth reading if you are interested in rock star romances. And also, as I was reading this book, it kept reminding me of like this phase on Wattpad where there's like a reluctant person who ends up falling in love with like one of the leads in a boy band, like say One Direction or like Big Time Rush or any of those stuff. I can't think of any boy bands that I like right now. I'm sure there is some, but I'm just naming the popular ones off the top of my head. But yeah, it sort of read like a Wattpad fanfiction in some respects, like the storyline and stuff, but it is much better written because it is written by Katia Rose, who is an author who is really incredible. So this wasn't my favorite Katia Rose book, but it wasn't the worst one that I've ever read, so I have very mixed feelings about it. I feel like my reading vlogs aren't as interesting when I don't have like super strong like, oh, I hate this book or I love this book. So I'm sorry if this video wasn't like the most interesting video in the entire world. I like filming reading vlogs, but I feel like I'm not very good at them. So like, I don't know if I'll do more in the future. I probably will. Probably will, but I don't know. I just suck at filming them, but I like watching them, so I hope that this video was at least somewhat entertaining. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I also have a written review summarizing all my thoughts on this book. It's a little more put together than this video, so head over onto my Goodreads to look at my written review of the book. Please consider subscribing to me if you haven't already, and also all of my other social media, including things like Bookstagram, Goodreads, my TikTok, stuff like that will all be linked down in the description below if you want to check out my other social media as well. I hope all of you are having a great week, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Until next time, goodbye.